Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be talking about binary count. This is done by Valdez. So in our decimal system, when we count, we can 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, but in computer science or in electrical engineering, we don't count that way. We use the 0. So we start in 0 and we count all the way up to 9 in the decimal system. And then is when we change once we get to 9. Okay, so with this little table, I'll explain you. So we have the first place, which is 10 to the 0, and the second place, which is 10 to the 1. So let's say, if I had a 1 here, it will be 1 times 10 to the 0, which is 1. So it's 1 times 1, 1. And if I had a 2, it will be 2 times 1, so it will be 2. And so on. We keep counting 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. But once we get to 9, then we can't put any other number. We run out of digits. So then is when what we do is we put a 0. So 10 to the 0 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. And then we carry over a 1. So this 1 is 10 times to the 1, which is 10. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 and 0. So that's what it makes. Hopefully you understand. And this is how we make a 10. So we go all the way up to 9, and then we carry a 1 over, and we put a 0. Okay, so that's how the decimal system works. Now we're going to talk about binary count. So in the binary count, we're going to use this table. Binary count, it's basically talking about counting in 1 zeros, and it uses the same idea of the decimal system, but in this case is to the power of 2. So in this case I'm using, for this place, this will count as 1, this will count as 2, this is 4. What I referred saying 1, 2, and 4 is if I put a 1 here, that means I have a 1. And if I put a 1 here, it means I have a 2. But if I put a 0, that means I have no 2 number, no 2. And all this string of 1s and 0s, it's add together. Something I have here to remember this, it's memory RAM or video card. So you know they go 32, 64, 128, 256, and so on. So that hopefully helps to remember the places. Okay, so let's have some examples. Let's say that I want to do the number 2 in the decimal system. So 2, and this 10 represents the decimal system. And so if we want to do 2 in binary, what is going to happen is I need to place a 1 here. So I'll fill it all with zeros, and then I'll have a 1, which represents the 2. So let's place it there, and that's how we represent the 2. Now, another example, 15. So 15, what's going to happen is we're going to have a 1 here, a 1 here, a 1 here, 1 here, and a 1 here. So it'll be 8, 12, 14, 15. So that's how we represent the 15 in binary. Okay. And one more example just in case. So what if we want to represent the number 1353 in the decimal system? So in this case, what we're going to do is that we're going to be using the 1024 place. We're going to be using 256, 64, in the 8 and the 1. Okay, so all that added together 1,000, 256, and 1,002. And 64, 8, and 1 gives you 1,353. Okay, so that's how you represent numbers in binary. Now I'm gonna show you a little trick. I'm gonna teach you how to count with your hand. Really quick, I need my hand. So there we go. So now let's imagine that this finger represents the ones place. So if you have just one, you'll just lift or raise that finger. Now this one represents the twos place. This is the 4th, 8th, and the 16th. Okay, so let's say if I raise this finger and that finger, that would be a 3. Now let's do an example. How about if we do 10? So first, we're gonna put a 1 in here, we're gonna raise this finger, and then we're gonna raise this finger. And the other 3 fingers are not gonna be raised. So if you're doing this and you're following with your hand, you have just these fingers up. Okay? And that gives you 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So that's how you represent a 10 with your hands. Now what if we're gonna do 28? Well, the same idea. We're just gonna place a 1 in the 16, a 1 in the number 8, a 1 and 4, and these are gonna be staying down. So you'll know that you're gonna have a 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 16, 20, 4, 28. Okay. 7, pretty simple. We're not gonna need 16, we're not needing 8, but we're going to need a 4, we're going to need a 2, and a 1. So that makes 7. Okay. So our number is 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 in the binary. Okay, and finally a 21. So we need the 16, we need the number 4, and we need the number 1, which is give us 20, 21. So now you know 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And that's 21 in binary. With this system with your hand, you can just count up to 31. I hope everything was very clear, and thank you for watching.